My name's Tyler Hildebrandt, Country 88 Morning Show host. Today, I am at Oak Bluff Farm Colony with Manuel and Heart. Good morning.
Good morning, Ty.
Thank you so much for having me.
You picked a beautiful morning.
I sure did. Yeah, we should get out there at some point. I have a thousand questions for you. Let's start at the very beginning. How did Heart become a thing? But when I showed up here, you and I kind of started talking, and you told me a little bit of the story of how this all happened.
Yeah.
Where did the inspiration for Heart come from?
It didn't come from me. I believe the inspiration came from God. Just me as a little boy wanting to be a scuba diver, from a story that I heard my teachers tell in school, how she got certified in the Bahamas, and how she could breathe underwater, float weightless. Just listening to that, I wanted to do that. And you'd find me in the library reading all the Jacques Cousteau books.
Yeah.
I'd page and page till I found the divers. Those were the stories I read. And I didn't know that there was a reason behind it, or why God was maybe lighting this little flame in my heart to be a diver. But looking back, I mean, in hindsight, whenever we look back at something, we can understand things better. But so I've been a teacher for over 20 years now on the colony, and been hanging out with kids a lot. And whenever I see a child have a certain hobby, or they're drawn to something, it speaks to me, because I know what the possibilities are of what God can do with a dream or a hobby or a passion that God puts in your heart.
So we put this passion in your heart and put a little pin in it and made you start thinking. But the beginning of Heart, kind of, it's a sad story. The reason that you started diving. Can you just dive into a little bit of that? Oh, funny pun. Just dive into a little bit of the reason you started wanting to actually rescue people.
Well, as I told you before, some of the best inventions come from a personal need or a desire. And when you need something and you look around and it doesn't exist, then that's how often things are created. We had a drowning here at our colony, and we have a large gravel pit. We're surrounded by water. We grew up swimming in these gravel pits. We enjoy it. All the kids do. And a lot of the colonies are close by water, and we just experienced loss of a little boy, and we searched for many days on the colony. He just disappeared. Where did he go? We searched for 3 days, and it was on the third day that somebody called in the dive team to check the gravel pit.
The RCP, or the police dive team?
The police dive team. And they showed up and they searched, and they dove, I believe, for 2 days. They did these patterns, and I sat on shore watching them. I was 16 at the time. And they were able to find and recover this little boy close to shore, and it just did something to me. I was like, wow. And because I loved watching the divers, because this is what I was interested in.
Right.
I wanted to watch them suit up. I wanted to see them connect the air hose to the tank. I had so many questions for them. And I mean, they had a job to do, but here's this kid who's very interested. So I tried to keep my space, but I was fascinated by the work that they did, the meaning behind it, even afterwards. Like, I remember the people taking the body up and placing them in a nearby garage there. But I stayed and watched the divers. I wanted to see them unsuit and ask them questions and just watch them, how they deal with what they just experienced. It was so calm, professional, the way they did it. I don't know. I was fascinated.
So then you're hooked, right? Then you go like, I gotta try this. But Heart didn't start then. Like, it wasn't called Heart. It was just you and your brother. And you bought some dive gear after this because you thought, like, I got to try this?
Well, we had to convince the colony, first of all, that it had there was a purpose behind us going and getting certified. So we were able to convince them that we could check our irrigation system underwater and the plumbing and fix stuff.
Yeah.
So it wasn't really a problem at all.
Okay.
And I was able to convince my brother to come along with me. He had never thought of it before, but he's always up for adventures, very athletic. So he came along, and it's always more fun, two of us.
Yeah.
And our dive instructor at the time, we became fast friends. He is still part of the team.
No way.
And we had so much in common. It was so much fun.
Huh. So that's kind of how you go get certified and you're able to dive. But when did you actually start trying to recover bodies? Like, when did that come about?
Yeah. So the diving we did was crappie diving and retention ponds.
Red River.
It's called black water diving.
Okay.
And we would fix stuff, make a bit of money, upgrade our gear, but we were used to that.
Yeah, terrible Manitoba water.
Yeah. And when there was a drowning at a Hutterite colony near Portage, people said, "You guys are divers. Is there nothing you can do to help? Can you come and help?" Everybody's tried everything. They're just poking around with boats and with poles in the water. This girl is missing. So we showed up with our equipment. Took us a while to get it all together because it was all over the place.
Well, you'd never done it before.
We had never done it before. So took some ropes because, the river's fast flowing. And we tied off and we did a search along the shore, and we were effective. As unskilled or as untrained as we were comfortable in those environments. And then it happened again at another colony a few years later. And we were called on, same scenario, but we were called quicker this time because people knew about us.
Because they had heard.
Yeah. And on the way home from that search, we were like, man, if we're going to be doing more of this, we need to be better prepared. We need to be better trained because this is dangerous work.
Yeah.
So we decided to pursue public safety diving. We're going to pursue the higher skills, and we're going to train on this. So my brother and I set out, and we came up with the name HEART, with the acronym Hutterian Emergency Aquatic Response Team.
Awesome name.
And that name came like out of thin air. In 5 minutes, the guys who were with us in the van, we just spitballed and came up with that name. My nephew, who is a graphic designer, said, "Hey, I'll come up with a logo," and that's the logo we have today.
Awesome! What a cool story! Like, this came out of a passion that you had for diving, and then a passion for wanting to help people. Before we also were talking about what God called you to do. Like you keep saying, this is not me, this is not HEART, this is more than that. So can you just touch on what God has called you to do?
Absolutely. On Hutterite colonies, we grow up knowing about the Lord, and we see the world, we view the world in a way that if God has given us resources, and we're able to help our fellow man, especially among the community of believers, we will drop everything to go and help. And that is culturally very common. And to have a skill like that, and if I'm as a young man growing up and I want to serve the Lord, I've had my struggles and stuff, but when I wanted meaning for my life, as any young man wants direction or meaning, like, what on earth am I here for? I didn't want to just go to work and have the cookie cutter lifestyle and the monotony of everyday work, which is important to put food on your table. But I always felt that if I loved what I was doing, if I enjoyed it, it would be so much easier.
Yeah.
What the Lord has done with my passion for diving and the way He's taken it on this journey, where we're actually now able to reach out beyond our borders because our capabilities have increased. There's not too many drownings on Hutterite colonies. So what do you do if you get a call from outside asking for your help? As Christians, I believe we are the light of the world, and if God has given us the resources and the capabilities to help, we should help. And I feel that same drive and passion was or is in my brother, and we love the Lord, and for us to be able to serve him in this way from what he has given us is incredibly meaningful. We have experienced situations on searches that are impossible, that are very, very scary and stressful, without God by our side directing us and giving us the peace and the experience. It has strengthened our faith. I was telling you before, as we were looking at the different pieces of equipment, that each one has an individual story and how it came to be in our arsenal.
Yes.
And it's fascinating. You would need a week of time with me to hear all these stories. And I love to tell these stories because I don't want to forget.
Right.
I want to remember. And I often remind myself to go back. I'm a sentimental guy. I love going back and telling the stories because it reminds me again of how God was there in that situation and how he brought us through it and how he grew us. And it's fascinating. Not too many people, I guess everybody in their own way, actually get a front row seat to see God working in incredible ways that are out of the ordinary.
Right. Right. Yeah, not normal, everyday type of thing.
They are so obviously him that we just look at each other and we shake our heads that this is so amazing. And we find out that if people knew how miserably inadequate and incapable we are, people tend to think we're amazing, or there's all kind of, heart is amazing. You don't even know us. If you knew how small we were. So we will use this platform and always point to God, point to his goodness, point to where he has brought us. This is a ministry. This isn't a work. This is a ministry that will glorify God every chance we get.
Well, you guys have a really cool opportunity to do ministry in a very different way, right? Like, you're not traveling to different countries and building things.
Yeah.
You are rescuing people and then able to talk to these families about God and teach them about God through this. Like, that's got to be amazing for you.
See, here's the thing. I'm not a preacher, and I don't know how to start a conversation that way. But what I can do is, on a search, we come at a time when people are very vulnerable. A time when people even feel that God must hate them for allowing this to happen to them.
Yep.
And as they sit in the boat and we search with them, the question always comes up, how did you come to be here? And then I tell my story. I tell how God has been with us from the start, how he has brought us to where we are at this moment in time to serve you. That God doesn't hate you, he actually loves you. And not just that, this won't cost you anything. If you need our services, we do this free of charge. We rely on donations, and the Lord has supplied all our needs. We can do this for free, and I tell them, it's actually like salvation in a way. You just have to accept it. You just have to say, yes, I need help, and we're like, we'll do it.
Man, you must have heard and seen some incredible things for some families. And I know, like, a lot of the things that you guys deal with, there's some confidentiality around it. But, like, what kind of stories do you hear from these families after you've recovered a body? Or, like, what kind of things do these families talk to you about?
That's a very good question. In the moment when they're dealing with that tragedy, there's so many emotions going on. There's so many questions. And there are feelings. But as time goes by and healing happens, they look at us even a little differently. And they're actually able to see God in the whole scenario and how just the dive team was able to come in and bring hope. And they talk to us about the hope that we brought and the sheer helplessness they feel. And there's this one family who told us they were waiting for a few days for us to arrive at the scene because this was all the way in Alberta. And we had a location, we dropped a pen where they could follow our progression as we came closer.
Cool.
And they told us what hope that brought them. And when we pulled into the parking lot there with the boat and the van, that the peace that came with that was incredible. It's indescribable. And this one dad said, it didn't even matter whether you found my son or not. You brought peace. And this was from a Muslim family. And I told them, I hope you recognize this is not Heart. This is not us who's bringing you this. We hope you can recognize Jesus in this. And they said they did. And it was amazing that just the sight of the boat can bring peace.
Like you don't even have to do anything, you just show up.
Yeah, and
what does that mean to you, Manuel, when you hear that from a Muslim family, that they recognize that God was involved?
What it shows me is that God he doesn't show favoritism or partiality. He loves everyone, and it touches me that he would reach out in that way, use Christians to speak to help a Muslim family, that he also knows them, he recognizes them, and he loves them, and I love that.
That's amazing.
And these stories, what it does is it fuels me to do even more. So.
Well, and that sounds like in our quick conversation here, it sounds like there is some plans moving forward. Like you have been able to train some people now through your experience. That must be unbelievably rewarding for you.
It's really adventurous. The underwater environment is something that not everybody gets to see.
No.
And for me to be able to go under there and to see that environment is fun to share.
Yeah.
And the years of accumulative experience that we have accumulated over time has value. It has a lot of value.
Yep.
And I try to share that experience and train other agencies. Because Ty, all across Canada, Heart can't be everywhere. No. If these searches come up and a family calls me from BC, I want to be able to put that family in contact with an agency that is close by so that they can be helped sooner, rather than have to wait half a week for us to travel there. So in the United States, the sheriff's departments are much better equipped with Homeland Security money.
Yep.
So my vision is to have agencies all across Canada that if we get a call, we can put them in contact with somebody who is trained and equipped
and local.
To help, and local.
That's cool. Like,
yeah.
I don't know, do you realize how cool that is, what you're doing? Like, do you ever step back and just appreciate?
I do, all the time. I'm so incredibly grateful for this opportunity, for being able to do this. It's so incredibly meaningful, and I can see the Lord in this. So I don't know what the future will hold. I'm not even trying to leave a legacy or anything.
No.
I'm actually in the moment, walking step by step in faith, being guided by a passion that the Lord, He gives me ideas that come at night, and
in the middle of the night you wake up and you go, oh, well, I got one.
Yeah, and this idea of equipping other agencies, I tell them, I can set you up with the right equipment, I can train you, but there's one thing I cannot give you, and that is God's blessing. You will have to pursue that yourself.
Yep.
So, and the Lord will, but I am here to tell you, if you do, He will give it to you.
Yeah, you just have to ask.
If you just ask, and your heart, if you're doing it for the right reasons, He will help and equip you beyond your wildest imaginations. He is able to do much more than we have ever dreamed or thought of.
More than we can think of, more than we can conceptualize.
Yeah, and I just tell them I'm living proof of that. So,
man, this is amazing. I could talk to you for hours. So you're trying to equip other teams. What about future for here at the Oak Bluff Colony? Because you're pretty young still, but you're not going to be young forever. What's the plan moving forward here? Are you going to pass this on to someone, or what's your thought?
Well, I would love for someone to be able to take over. So we have we bring our sons along and train them and teach them. I have a younger son who's 13, and he's really passionate about this, and he loves the technology.
Cool.
And he's really good and really smart. But I also don't want to expose him to things before it's time. We experience a lot of trauma. We see a lot of dark things that we have to internally process and work with. And I don't want to expose the younger generation too soon. So I have a few sons. One of them is 18, 19 at the moment, and he comes along on our searches. And my brother Paul has 2 sons he brings along. They're drone pilots, and we often need drones in the air for searches. Yep. It's something I don't have the bandwidth for. So when these young men see the impact that it has, that they've done something incredibly important, something that glorified God, the Lord can use that to grow them as well. They can grow their faith. And so that's my hope for the future. Where the Lord will take it is his decision.
His prerogative.
Yeah.
Huh. Manuel, if we want to support the work that you guys are doing, if we want to make a donation or anything, what's the best way for us to do that?
So we have a website. We're most active on Facebook.
Okay.
And when we go out on a trip, on a search, we put up a GoFundMe where people can help pay for the gas or the meals and lodging along the way. There's lots of costs associated with deploying.
Well, it costs us more now than it was 5 years ago.
Oh yeah, like I would say it would easily cost $2,000 to $3,000 a day just to deploy.
Just to be there.
Just to be there with the equipment, experience, and so the GoFundMe is amazing in a way that the Lord has supplied what we needed for every trip and then some, with a little left over. So we've never fallen short. And the times when it does appear that we're falling short, the Lord comes through in other ways. So we're able to operate this way with the expenses. And you can also donate via e-transfer, heartteaminc@gmail.com.
Perfect.
And every donation is, 100% of the donation is put towards training and this mission. We don't get paid for what we do. It's all voluntary. So that's why the growth is actually seemingly so fast.
Right.
Because we're able to put it all in there.
Right back to where it should go. Man,
and we just want people to know that this is, we're touched that people would consider it, first of all, as an organization you feel is worthy of support.
Yep.
But we want people to know that this is a ministry that will glorify God. We will always point to Him every chance we get.
Huh. Okay, we've talked for too long now. This is my fault. Before I let you go, if you were to meet someone in the streets and they had never heard about Heart before, how would you describe what you do and why you do it in a whatever? Like if you're just in a quick conversation with someone and you wanted to describe who Heart is and why you do what you do, what would you say?
Heart is a team, a dive team that specializes in underwater search and recovery for drowning victims. That's pretty much it in a nutshell.
Yeah, and your why. Give me your why. I know you've told it a couple times already here, but why?
The why is we understand what it means to feel helpless, and to be able to help these families in desperate need with something the Lord has given us. That's the why. I just want to glorify God through this ministry.
Oh man, thank you so much. Thank you for taking the time, and thank you for
Absolutely.
the chat.